Hi guys, once again you have to excuse the background noise today, just circumstances. So we took apart a Siemens high-path phone and exchange, and I put a poll on the YouTube page asking if you'd like to see inside a Panasonic system. So we're going to start with the phone. We've got a vast number of these phones as well as the exchange. This is a complete system. So we'll have a look at the phone and then we'll tear into the exchange. This exchange is a complete working system. I will power it up and show it working. I'm not going to go through the whole effort of factory resetting it and everything else, but we'll show it working. So let's have a look at the phone. So this one appears to be fairly basic. I was going to take this unit apart, but actually it's so incredibly basic I'm going to change it for one of the black ones. So we've changed it for one of the black ones. The sole reason for it is the black ones have a little bit more to them. There are multiple models of phones that work with these systems, so you're not stuck with one particular type of phone. And there is another one that is a model up from this which has a much bigger display. Unfortunately it's also fully cabled and I can't release the cables from the clips. I don't really want to work with the cables on the bench. So let's flip these over. These are reasonably easy to get into compared to the Siemens. I have had these apart before, I know these, he says, and the little electric screwdriver may not be the right tool for the job here. Of course we're lovely self-tappers into plastic. I am trying to talk more than usual, mostly because I've discovered that a lot of my problems with the audio on these videos is the auto level control on this camera. So as long as I'm talking and making noise over here, it doesn't bring the background stuff in quite so much. There is just 4 screws in here and then the whole thing sort of clamshells out. There we go, so we're out. You'll watch me need to do more to this to get it apart. Famous last words really. I don't think I've missed any screws. And I seem to recall these don't actually go together quite the way you'd expect them to. So although you'd want to spudge on that line, that's not actually where the case splits. It's lower. Okay. This one is going to be unreasonable. And I put the metal spudges away as well. Let's find something to spudge on. There's our case line there. There we go. Oh, there we went. Hold on, spudger time. Now you see, if I hadn't have paused that where I went and got the spudges, you'd have got to hear me going flying, because I did the one thing you're never supposed to do and stepped over a sleeping dog, at which point the Malamute then tried to launch me into the stratosphere. There we go, we're in. So we've got a bit more in this one, not much more. It's pretty much of a muchness. I don't really feel the need to completely tear this down. This is full of staples. Seriously, there are weird magnetic constructions of staples. I don't know that we need to completely tear this apart, but it's slightly more complicated than the other one. It's not quite as highly integrated, and I suspect a lot of the parts are going to be easily recognisable. Do we tear this apart? To be fair, I don't really want to keep this one. So you can see, if I zoom you down a little bit more, that they've made a lot of provision for different things. So the other one that I wanted to take apart has a flip-up screen. This has a fixed screen, but you can see the hinges are here for the fixed screen. So we'll just take that module out. Is this flat or is it just dead? So we've got a little flat flex connector here, but this is going to be a similar setup to the other one, and I reckon if we push those 2 tabs in, our display, I reckon if we push those 2 tabs in, our display will just pop off. There we go. So they'd have a module, another version of this module, which would be the flippy flappy display. This looks like nothing special. Again, like the other one, I strongly suspect this is an off-the-shelf module. That is a single line display. Curious, we've got 2 buttons there, but there's... oh, there is provision for the buttons there. Select a mode. But again, nice, useful little display if that can be brought to life. It's a 14-way connector, which makes me think more than ever that is an HD47 series controller. And actually, looking at it, it's an HD4478, so that is actually a standard display module. Right, looking at this board, we'll take the board out. So these ones have some kind of analog pass-through. You've got it marked on the back there as to tell. I think you can plug modems and laptops into this system, but I don't quite understand how that works. What's holding us in? We've got one screw there. One screw there. And I don't think we can go anywhere until we work out quite how that works. You just pull on it until it falls off. And let's get that speaker out as well. That's quite a nice looking speaker, especially compared to the other one. That probably sounds quite decent. 32 ohms though. We've got a microphone down here we need to do something about. And then we come out, and like the other one, it looks like a fairly standard construction. We've got a normal D-style knob come off there. That's that telephone port. I'm not 100% sure what that's for. So we peel off our mat, and again there's nothing on the underside. And we have a nice little rotary encoder there, made by Mitsumi. So that is almost definitely useful and worth hanging on to. So we have lots of discretes in this one. Can I bring you down a bit more? There we can. So we are the right way up. What do we have here? That is almost certainly a preamp circuit for the microphone, so much so that I'm not even going to look at that chip. We then have an SC, that's really difficult to see, SC37655 VM. Not 100% sure what that's going to be. We have a Motorola chip there, an MC14LC 5480DW. I have a feeling that is our PCM encoder decoder, although it could well be that. Then everything else in here, in true Panasonic fashion, is Panasonic ASICs. So we've got this PSV 1BU 6505OD here, which, looking at it in relation to where everything else is, actually I'm not sure. We've got a high frequency crystal down here, so which implies that this may well be the micro, but that has its own crystal as well. Can't really see what value that crystal is. That one is a 20, so 20 megahertz oscillator for the crystal. Nice touch on here, I've just noticed this. So quite often with these you got issues with the hook switch going bad. This has actually got an opto detector for the hook switch, so that's nice. Other than that, there's a absolute ton more discretes in there than there was on the other one, but still it's quite what's the word I want? Specialised and integrated. Less integrated than the other one, but there's not really much here that's so there's not really much here though that you can actually see. It'll be interesting to see what these two are. That's an op amp, that's an op amp. That is possibly, looking at its proximity to the speaker, to do with speaker output. So that is a HJU 406 something B. So that could also be logic. But this one is also the same, so I think they are audio processing. We have another JRC chip up here. No idea what that is. We have 2 regulators, we have a bridge here, so there's definitely some phone liney goodness going on up here for that connector, but it'd be interesting to see what it is. I will have a look at the manual for the phone and see if that tells us anything interesting, because I say we've got a bridge there, we've got an isolation transformer. We're using 6 of the 6 wires, so we could possibly send a phone line through. But yeah, that's it. There's not really much else on that one. That's quite basic and quite boring, but marginally less boring than the other one. Anyway, it's coffee time. Take care.